So a lot of things are going to be on the ballot on the Missouri side. We're going to spend this week at this time, every morning this week, highlighting some of those amendment issues. We're getting more and more questions about them, and now it's crunch time. So let's start it off with Amendment 3. It is called the Right to Reproductive Freedom Initiative. I'm sure you've heard nothing about it. It is the abortion initiative that is on the ballot. Brian Westbrook, Coalition Life, is here on KCMO Talk Radio. Brian, let's cut right to the chase here. What is most concerning to you about this Amendment 3 ballot initiative in Missouri?
Yeah, Amendment 3 brings sex change operations for minors without their parents' knowledge or consent into Missouri. It eliminates all protections surrounding abortion. So we're talking 7th, 8th, and 9th month of pregnancy, long after the baby can feel pain. It also eliminates all malpractice protections for all reproductive health care. So meaning hysterectomies, normal childbirth, C-sections, all malpractice protections gone, licensing, zoning, all of these things also gone, and not to make matters even more worse, but all with our tax dollars. So it's all encompassing and basically destroys all reproductive health protections in the state of Missouri.
Well, this is becoming something where this issue has unfortunately succeeded in many other states, red states, blue states around the country. But it feels like this is right up there with the most extreme, and they're trying to do it and achieve it in deep red Missouri. So, and there's a lot of money, as you know, going into the yes side of this. So how are folks like yourself trying to combat that?
Yeah, I think it's really important. An informed voter is a no voter. I think it's important for us to read the language, whether we go to the Secretary of State's website or we go to mo3facts.com, M-O, the number 3facts.com. And I think if we read the language, we very quickly become a no voter when we read language like, nor shall any person assist a person in exercising their right to reproductive freedom be penalized, prosecuted, or otherwise subjected to adverse action. Basically meaning that if anyone who's anybody helps another person, whether they be a doctor or the janitor or a taxi cab driver or a friend, if they're assisting another person, they get full immunity. The government can't do anything to help them, including if they're paralyzed after a surgery or if a child is lost during a childbirth. So what we need to do is do things like you're doing, on the phone, talking to people, door to door, get your signs out. The other side has $22 million and they're spreading lies about miscarriage care. This, in fact, does the opposite. It removes the already existing protections that already exist for miscarriage and, in fact, destroys them all with one sentence here.
Brian Westbrook is here, Coalition Life, and I see that, Brian, you are going to be here in Liberty for an event to learn about Amendment 3. That's happening on Saturday, 11:30 in the morning at Liberty Community Center, so you can join Brian Westbrook there. You mentioned getting the word out and trying to beat millions of dollars in funding on the other side, and you've done it in a way that talks about the extreme nature of some of this. There's going to be a lot of no voters out there, but there's going to be a lot of swing voters or maybe more moderate voters who say, well, you know, I don't know if Missouri's maybe too extreme the other way on this issue. I'm not saying that's how I feel, but there's folks out there who will say that. So you've got to get it across to those individuals, right, that this thing is way too far the other way. And what else can you do? How are you trying to message around that with some of the things you're talking about here in this bill?
Yeah, I think it's important. Again, if we're talking to our friends, families, and neighbors, we need to be bold in this action, whether it's on social media or anywhere else. But I think it's important for us to talk about how extreme this thing is. When you said this issue, it's not this issue. It's a hysterectomy that goes bad and someone's paralyzed because they cut a vein or artery. Or it's a childbirth that goes bad and a child is disabled for the rest of their life. Where's the justice? Where's the malpractice in those things? I think the vast majority, if not all, Missourians would agree that we do need these protections. And with sentences and language, 8 paragraphs of full immunity for those, quote, who are assisting another person in reproductive health. And that includes corporations. We saw with Citizens United court case that persons include corporations. So this also gives pharmaceutical companies, big, huge hospital systems immunity. And I think we all should be fighting back against this.
Brian Westbrook, Coalition Life on KCMO. So, Brian, where do you want to send people? Mo3facts.com. Is that the best way to learn more?
Well, yeah. So read the language at mo3facts.com. If you want to come out to our events, we're coalitionlife.com/events. If you can learn more about the event there in Liberty. But read the language, mo3facts.com. Read that language. And then also just off the presses, more websites for you. A3action.com with Governor Parson is going to be Thursday night. So come out on your computers, learn about this initiative and this amendment, how dangerous it is. And so we're welcoming Governor Parson and many other experts for A3action.com Thursday night.
That's great. We'll keep tabs. And, Brian, we will plan to talk to you again before Election Day. Thanks so much for the insight.
Incredible. Thank you.
You bet. Brian Westbrook, Coalition Life on KCMO.